And for my singles tip, would have to be sometimes just go with the flow stuff. Don't pressure somebody. Keep asking them the same questions. Make sure that get a feel of how they are personality-wise, and if you feel that it's good, then go with it. If not, then walk away. Like this guy I'm meeting tomorrow, I've had some struggles with him,
and they haven't even met yet.
I know, but that could just be probably a communication problem because I've never actually physically talked to him on the phone. So
what's up with that? Exactly.
I'm not making it easy for him, especially when this one needs to go and to get convinced.
It ain't easy to convince him.
So, yeah, pretty much just go with the flow. That's all I can say for this week about that.
So, world issues. Anything you want to discuss?
Okay. So, about the little kid.
9-year-old.
Yeah, there was a 9-year-old in what state was it?
Alabama.
Okay, so she was caught. Well,
okay, she ate a candy bar.
Yeah.
And once questioned by her stepmother and grandmother, she lied and said she didn't, but they knew she did. So after continuously questioning her, she admitted it to it, and then they forced her to run for 3 hours, and she died from exhaustion.
Exhaustion and dehydration. Because they took her into the hospital.
She collapsed, had a seizure.
Yeah, and she went to the hospital. They tried, giving her as much, water as they could. And a day later, she died.
Yeah, it's just terrible.
It's terrible. You don't do this if you don't want your kid to have candy, and if they lie about it, then they should be punished.
It's candy.
You don't take them. You don't make them run for 3 hours. No, that's wrong parenting. What you need to do is go and take a privilege away. Put them in the corner. Ground them for a week. Or ground them for 2 days. Make them. Take away something from them. Don't make them be physically exhausted, especially in Alabama. People, come on. It's hot down there. Even at this time, it's 70 degrees. That's pretty warm for a kid.
This is actually some type of fad that's going on right now with parents for some reason. Like, instead of spanking, which I also don't agree with as physical discipline, they're using other forms of physical discipline, like gym exercises, like making them do jumping jacks over and over again, and running and carrying, like a lot of physical labor. And it's not, I'm sorry, but it's not appropriate. This isn't the military. You don't make a small child run for 3 hours. People that run marathons that run, because on the page of this child happened to, there are people talking about it. They're like, man, there's people that run marathons for 5 hours and don't drop dead. First off, they're adults.
Yeah.
And second off, they've been training for it. They've been building up for this 5-hour long run, not suddenly like, oh, you're going to go run for 3 hours. You can't, it's not appropriate anyway. I don't even think I could make a child run for half an hour. I mean, that's just insane. That's insane. When I was in school, I don't know if they did this where you went to school at, but when I was in school, they used to make you run the mile.
Yeah, they made me
run
the mile.
That was complete utter bullshit to me. Because I'm sorry, but kids aren't, they're not up to par to do something like that, especially if they've never trained for it. I never made it a mile. I made it like a quarter, and then I walked. I wasn't a big kid. I was a small kid.
I was a big kid, and I had trouble doing it.
It's not.
And they would all tease me about it too. After, when I could was the last one.
Yeah, I was always last. Well, I wasn't always the last, but I was close to last. But I always ended up walking after like a quarter mile because it was bullshit. There's no reason to physically discipline your children that way, especially over a candy bar. I mean, that's insane. Who the fuck cares? It's a candy bar.
Right.
If you didn't want your child to have a candy bar, you shouldn't have it in your house. But then if she ate it and she wasn't supposed to, then you take away a privilege, or you say, you lied to us, so now this is, you're going to do the dishes tonight, or you're going to bed early tonight. Yeah. It's not appropriate to make them run for 3 hours. That's insane.
You take away their allowance.
That's insane. What the hell? This is a tragedy, an absolute tragedy that this child is dead. And I hope those women who are women who should know better. I mean, I to be honest, it'd still be horrible if it was her father who'd made her do this, but I could understand a little better a man forcing physical labor on a child. Because that's how men kind of think, you know, like punishment, physical labor. Maybe I understand why they would think to do something like that, but a woman? Where is your maternal instinct? Even the stepmother, I understand it's not her child, but where was her maternal instinct to not do something like that?
I have no idea.
That's just insane. Why would you do that? I don't, that story just, it's just appalling. It's just very sad.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, another one. Here's another one. You see that thing on Yahoo about a grandson lifting up a 2-ton car to get his grandfather out of it?
No, I didn't see that.
Okay, so yeah, so there's this kid, this teenage 15-year-old kid with his grandfather. His grandfather's under the car trying to work on the car. And he's pumping the brake and whatnot, and next thing he hears is a ka-thunk or something like that, or, you know, like some kind of movement or something. He said it felt wrong. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, he sees that his grandpa is trapped under the car. Mm-hmm. So he ends up lifting up the 2-ton car to get him out. And of course, he's got this like big gash now where he's got the his eyes kind of blackened out. But the grandfather is. But now he's more attached to his grandparents now because of that, what happened. And they're grateful that their grandson did that. But for a teenager...
Adrenaline.
Yeah. 2 tons for a teenager to lift that. That's pretty amazing.
Adrenaline can make you do a lot of things. Mm-hmm. There was some story about a mother who, a long time ago, I don't know how long ago it was, but the mother who lifted up a car to get her child out from underneath it. Yeah, it's like adrenaline. Sometimes, you know, you're able to do things that you're not even aware you can do when you're under adrenaline.
Yeah.
So, entertainment news, Whitney Houston, drug overdose.
Was it?
Yep, they were talking about it on the radio. It was too much prescription medication mixed with too much booze. And then she, I guess, maybe had a heart attack and drowned. I didn't actually catch how exactly that ended up killing her, but she was in the tub when it happened, and that's why she drowned.
Wow.
So another celebrity, another drug overdose. So celebrities, stop doing drugs!
Yeah, really, I have to agree with that.
You guys are a lot of teenagers idols.
Yeah.
Stop. I mean,
yeah,
come on. Really?
I have to agree with you on that one. Didn't the same thing happen to Heath Ledger, but he mixed pharmacy drugs with over-the-counter drugs? That's what I heard.
I know he OD'd. I don't remember how.
Yeah, I think that's how it was. Cause he had trouble sleeping, so he mixed sleeping pills with some kind of pill that he got from his doctor, and it you know, the chemicals didn't mix right, and it killed him.
Yeah.
That's why if you're not okay. So hint for that: if you're not sure about your prescription, whether it be sinuses, cough medicine, stuff like that, and you're having 2 different symptoms at the same time, contact your pharmacy and talk to your pharmacist. That's what I did when I had my sinus pressure and I had a migraine headache and a flu all at the same time. And so I asked him, and I had my monthly at that same time too. So I asked him, what do I do? Well, you know, is it okay if I mix these 3 pills with this? Will it affect it at all? They said no, as long as you follow the prescription. And I said, okay. So, but contact your pharmacist if you have any questions about pills and mixing them.
You shouldn't. You really should know what you're taking when you're taking them, people. But you know, ignorance does not excuse being stupid. I mean, that's why you have pharmacists, why you have a doctor. So, but movie stars, I don't understand it. I mean, I understand, like, you have the money so you can do the drugs, and I understand drugs make you feel great. Mm-hmm. But then you come down off of them, and then you withdraw, and you gotta have more, and why would you want something like that controlling your life?
I saw a picture of her, too.
Yeah, she looked rough.
I saw the before picture, and I saw her in the coffin picture, and then I saw where she, you know, a picture of when she had drowned in the tub.
Not sure they were real pictures. Why would they release those?